Hi everyone and welcome to our Facebook Live Q&A. Today we're here at the Melbourne ADF Careers Expo here in the Royal Exhibition Building in Carlton Gardens. And I'm joined today by Belinda, Michelle and Brendan, who are here to answer all of your questions. So please make sure that you send those through. But first I might get you guys to introduce yourself. Belinda, you go first.
Hi, I'm Flight Lieutenant Belinda Pavlovich. I am an aeronautical engineer in the Air Force and I have been in for 14 years.
Great.
I'm Petty Officer Michelle Collins. I'm in the Royal Australian Navy as a Maritime Logistics Support Operations Sailor, and I've done 18 years.
Great.
And I'm Brendan Ridley, Corporal in the Australian Army. I've been in for almost 10 years now, and I'm an administration assistant by trade.
Fabulous. Okay, well we're here at the Melbourne ADF Careers Expo and there's a lot going on behind us, as you guys might be able to hear. Can you tell us what's going to be on show over the next Saturday and Sunday with the Expo?
Yeah, so we've got a really exciting event this weekend. We've flown in specialists from all around the country and we've got them on the ground, the people who actually do the job, for everyone to come in and have a chat to.
Fabulous. And from an asset perspective, I guess, what kind of equipment do we have from Army on show?
Yeah, so all of our equipment here today is completely free to come and see. So come on in. We've got an ASLAV, which is one of our combat vehicles. We've got a Bushmaster, and we've also got our G-Wagon, and that's our everyday get around the bush kind of vehicle.
Perfect. And what about Navy?
So we've brought in our Zodiac Rib for people to get in and out and have a look about, and we've also got our life rafts, which we currently use throughout the fleet, and you can jump in, have a look, have a feel, touch everything. It's a really good asset.
Wonderful. And what about Air Force?
So for the Air Force, we have a couple of cockpits available for everyone to get in and out of if they want to. There's an F-111 one and an old bomber. We also have the Air Cadet glider, which same again, you can get in and out of, and as well as one of the service dogs that's under training.
Wonderful, and I think we saw a vision of young Yarden a bit earlier there. So great, so if people have any questions about a career in the Defence Force, they can come down and ask any of you guys or all the people down on the ground there about a career in the Defence Force.
Yeah, they sure can.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I'd like to ask you guys a bit more about your job roles within your respective services. Brendan, you said you were an admin assistant in the Army.
Yeah, that's correct. So as an admin assistant, I'm taking care of the happiness of the soldiers on the ground. So I'm making sure they're getting paid, I'm making sure they're going on the travel that they've booked, but I'm also a bit of a policy guru, so I make sure the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
Yeah, great. And Belinda, what about yourself?
So I'm an aeronautical engineer. I originally joined General Entry as an aircraft technician. So that meant that I was playing on aircraft. I was actually on the F-18s for 4 years in Newcastle, so that was quite fun.
Yep.
I then commissioned to become an officer and went through ADFA, the Australian Defence Force Academy, to get my aeronautical engineering degree, and graduated there in 2013.
Fabulous. And Michelle, what about yourself?
So Maritime Logistics Support Operations Sailors, we are event management, we're also hotel services, and we look after the hierarchy of the fleet, so all our commanding officers, and yeah, it's a pretty amazing job.
Excellent. Well, we were actually lucky enough a bit earlier today with Emily from DFR to talk to you about the Navy flight simulators, so we might cut to that footage now.
So I'm down here at the flight simulator with Michelle. Hi, Michelle. So the flight simulators are available for anybody to come down and have a go at.
Anyone and everyone needs to come down and check out the flight simulators. We have our Super Hornets, we have our Seahawk simulators, and it's all state of the art and ready for use.
Fantastic. So you come down, you have a go at the simulator, you really enjoy it. What kind of jobs could you then look at applying for?
So pilot, of course, but then we have everything surrounding the pilot space. We have aviation warfare officers right through to aircraft maintainers and aircraft controllers. So you don't have to be up in the air. There's everything at an airport we do in the Defence Force.
Fantastic. And what kind of skills or interests might you guys be looking for in people who want to apply?
So interest is just within helicopters and aircraft space. Skills, we give you the skills, so you don't need any skills at all. Once you come down and have a look and feel around what you'd like to do, ask some questions and we do all the training for you once you join.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.
Great. So it looks like there's a lot of opportunities for people if they head down to the Expo to climb in and have a bit of a go on some of the assets available, like you said, Brendan, in the vehicles here and in those cockpits for Air Force. And the Air Force actually does also have a simulator here on display as well. But can you guys take me through a bit about the info sessions that you guys are running here at the Expo, Belinda?
Yeah, so we have a couple of information sessions throughout the day. There's one on the Army Reserves, there's one on Women in Defence, and there's also one for ADFA as well. So if anyone wants more information about any of those, they can come and get some specialist advice.
Oh, fabulous. So I'm going to get to know you guys a bit better. I want to find out why you decided to join the Defence Force and particularly the services that you chose. So Brendan, take us through.
So my dad was in the Air Force of 21 years, so I've always kind of been around the Defence Force and knew it was there as a career opportunity. I never really considered it until I'd come just out of high school. So did a year of work, a year of study, and decided which I liked more. At the time I was living in Canberra, struggling to find a job and just wanted to get out of town and find something new to do. So went into the recruiting centre, not really too much of an idea of what I wanted to do, except that I wanted to work in an office. Saw on the wall that they were looking for admin assistants in the Army, and that's purely the reason that I went Army. They were recruiting first, so there's no worries.
You were keen to get in.
Yeah, there's no worries with choosing that as an option for choosing a service. But I'm almost 10 years in now. I've loved every moment of being in the Army. Experienced a lot of different stuff. I spend a bit of time behind a desk, but I also keep really fit. I do obstacle courses. I handle weapons. Ridden in the back of some of these vehicles, so I get to see and do it all just as much as someone in a combat and security role would.
Yeah, fabulous. Michelle, what about yourself? Why did you decide to join?
Yeah, so I'm from a small country town up in northern New South Wales on the coastline, so the ocean's a pretty important part of my life. And then I also have the need to travel when I was growing up. So young 18-year-old girl, finished school, had no idea what I wanted to do. All my family went to uni, and I had a couple of uncles in the Army Reserve. So I sort of looked into that a little bit and thought, no, I don't like camping. So I had a few friends that joined the Navy and they just love it. And it's just such an amazing area to work in.
Great. And Air Force?
Yeah, so it was always Air Force for me.
Okay.
Fast jets, you couldn't really go past that.
Yep.
I didn't even consider the other two services, to be honest. So I don't have any family or anything that's significantly in defence, so it wasn't from that. The first time I actually even was exposed to the ADF as a potential career opportunity was at a career expo similar to this.
There you go.
Up in Brisbane when I was 16. And from there, I just had it in the back of my head, and once I finished school, I ended up phoning up and went through the process from there.
Okay, great. Well, guys, please keep submitting your questions to these guys. We've got them for the next 20 minutes to answer your questions, but I might go straight into some. We've got a question from Rhiannon here. She's asked, I would like to join the Army as an admin assistant. What is it like? Brendan, you are the perfect person to answer this question.
I am. I couldn't be a better person. It's fantastic. I started off my career in the Defence Force in the Army, just doing generic office work, so a bit of secretarial kind of work, to the point where just a couple of short years ago, I was in charge of 7 other administration assistants, and I was taking care of the administration for about 600 people before, and that unit, those people, they were ready to go on deployment at a moment's notice, so as was I.
Yeah.
And it was truly one of the most rewarding moments of my life, managing such a large amount of administration and people.
Yeah. And would you have any advice for Rhiannon, who's still in the consideration phase?
I guess don't be scared. You don't need to be qualified. You don't have to have any experience in administration at all. We provide all the training. I went to Albury Wodonga for 6 weeks of training, and that's where I learned all the skills, and I've just developed those over time. So if fitness is what you're worried about, we've got plenty of initiatives to help you get to the fitness standard that you need to be at as well. So don't limit yourself. You're capable of it.
Excellent. So Andy asked, hey guys, love the ADF. Can you tell me what it's like living on base? Are you away from your family?
Right. So I actually have 3 kids myself. Yes, for your initial period, you do have to live on base, so we can train you and get you to learn about all of the the family side of things within our family, as in the ADF family, and how to be a soldier, airman and sailor. However, I have a totally normal life outside of defence. So we have a house near where I work. The kids get dropped to school, the husband goes to his job, and totally normal lifestyle out of work. So
And if you're living on base, if you're living on a military establishment, you're married with no children, or not married and no children, we'll put you up in like a 1-bedroom apartment kind of setup. So it's your own space, you're not sharing a room with anyone, because that gets a bit old pretty quickly. So you do get your own living space and your own privacy if you're living on base. And everyone around you are the people that you work with, so it's kind of like, living right next to all your mates. It's fantastic.
Great. So Ryan has asked, what sort of aviation jobs are available outside of the Air Force?
Go first and then
So we've got a stack of different roles in the Army in terms of non-pilot aviation roles. You can do the job where you're refueling helicopters with the rotors spinning or not. You can be the guy who's reloading the helicopters with ammunition, missiles and things like that. You can be on the radios, calling in helicopters, telling them where to land. And you can also be fixing them. You can be under it with a ratchet and hammer, fixing up the faults that are found and all those kind of things.
So Navy's a bit different. We do have our specialists that are technical on the aircraft and fix the aircraft, whether it be electrical or mechanical. Then we also have the support crew with our brand new LHDs, which is so exciting. On the deck, refueling the helicopter as well. And then one of my other ancillary jobs is to actually land helicopters on the deck of the ship. So sailors have a lot of roles within what we do, and we have our core role as well.
Okay, great. And to give Air Force a bit of a go as well, can you take us through maybe some aviation roles available within the Air Force that aren't just pilot roles?
So we have a number of roles where you can be what's called like mission controller, so air traffic controller and things like that. There's in the back seat of some of the planes. You can do that from the ground as well as the air. And obviously we have pilots, different streams of pilots as well. So there's fast jet pilots and transport pilots, and depending on how you go through training.
But if you guys require any more information on those aviation roles, head to Defence Jobs Australia, and there'll be lots of information there. So Mitch has asked, what cool equipment do you get to use as a part of your jobs? Belinda.
So I'm an engineer at the moment, so and I say that at the moment because there's lots of opportunities that you can do through your career. So most recently I have been behind a desk in an office environment, but part of my experiences has been that I've been able to be in the back seat of an F-18 and a PC-9.
That's pretty cool.
That in terms of having fun with that equipment, that was definitely a highlight.
And what about yourself, Michelle?
So I am in a pretty diverse space with cool equipment. I also do a bit of ship's medical emergency team training, so all the latest and greatest within the medical space. And then we also have the ribs and the Zodiacs, so we jump in those and zip around the ocean, which are like little fast boats that go in between the ships. So that's a pretty exciting thing to do,
Great. And Army?
So in my career, sometimes the most exciting thing I get to play with is a computer. But I've also used machine guns. I'm trained on our standard service rifle, pistols. I've thrown grenades, and I've got mates who have been trained on shotguns and any number of other weapons. And we get to ride around in the vehicles. We get to see, get up and close and personal with some of the helicopters and all those kind of things as well. So we get to use a lot of varied equipment, even in an administrative role.
Okay, fabulous. So keep sending through your questions, guys. We're getting a lot of good ones through. Chelsea's asked, when could the Careers Expo come to Sydney? Which is a great question. Keep your eyes peeled on our website and also our Facebook page for upcoming events. But I guess, what are some of the events that if someone's not in the local area, they're not in Victoria and can't come to this expo, what are some of the events that we run across the country?
Yeah, so we have, similar to the seminars that we're offering today, like the Army Reserves, Commando, Ad for Information sessions, there's Officer Information sessions, Women in Defence Information sessions. They're all through the country. You just need to get in touch with your local centre and ask them when they're available. They're also available to see under events in defence jobs. So again, if you spend some time on that webpage, you'll be able to see what's coming up.
Yep, and there's also you two are a part of a team within Defence Force Recruiting, the specialist recruiting team for women, and a big part of that is mentoring and supporting female candidates through the process. Can you take us through some of the events that you guys run there?
So we also run women's information sessions. PFA mentoring is such an important part of the process.
Physical fitness assessment.
Physical fitness assessment. Sorry, acronym. So we get the girls together and we give them the confidence that they can get over the line and that they can actually do it. So and it's all a part of it's all girls, and it's such a comfortable space, and it's such a positive outcome with the majority of the events. So it's so good. And then we also run events for building courage. In a couple of weeks, we're taking candidates that have already gone through the process of the assessment stage, and we're taking them to Arthur's Seat, and we're doing the Arthur's Seat treetops. So such a good experience.
Yeah, great. So if you're interested in any events across the country, not just here in Melbourne, jump on our Facebook page or our website and do a bit of digging in your local area. So we've got a question here from Lara. How do I join Gap Year? Brendan?
That's a very good question. So I'd be telling that person to hop onto defencejobs.gov.au website and start an application. Gap Year opens up in a couple of weeks or a week or so. So get in soon, get in quick. And come in for the U session. Now, our U session is there's no obligation to that at all. You come in, sit an aptitude session to see, what you might be good at, and then you have a discussion with a military member as well, really discussing, what you want to do, what kind of career you want to have, and we can talk about Gap Year in a lot more detail and what it involves.
Yep, and if you're not ready to submit an application quite yet, you can attend an information session that will be happening across the country. So Callum has asked, I'm 16. If I wanted to get some experience in the Defence Force, what can I do?
I think probably at that age would be the cadets. It's probably the underage sort of military experience, exposure that you get. We don't really have anything like work experience, but I do encourage opportunities like this where you can come down and speak to any number of people in different jobs. We do have 250 plus jobs available, so a lot of people don't know that there's more than just combat and security roles. In terms of experience, come down. As Brenda was talking about, if you come in for a U session, you can still do that at that age. You come in with your parents as well and get a proof of that. And you can have a chat to the military member, and they can offer you things like the candidate experiences and anything else that we might have available.
Yeah, great. And the cadets are here and are at many of our major expos. And just on work experience, there is the Defence Work Experience program, which is not part of Defence Force Recruiting, but does offer work experience through there. So hop on their website, that's Defence Work Experience Program, and have a look. So Christian has asked, are there opportunities to try on uniforms?
Oh, that's a very good question. So, you might not be able to put on this uniform, but we've got some body armour downstairs. We've got helmets as well. You can throw those on, hop in the back of a vehicle, hop behind the steering wheel, and actually see what life's could be like for you if you were to join the Defence Force. There's flight suits as well. So the same clothes that the pilots wear, you can throw those on downstairs as well.
Yeah, great. And we actually have a virtual reality experience that you can come down and check out. And we were lucky enough once again with Emily and Brendan to have a look at that a bit earlier. So we're going to cut to that now.
So we're down at another of the interactive experiences here at the Expo with Brendan. Brendan, can you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, certainly, Emily. So we're here at the virtual reality experience. People get to try their hands at what life's like in the Defence Force.
Fantastic. Now, we've got someone here on the experience at the moment. What's she seeing that we're not?
Yeah, so she's only just started her trip, so she'll start off in a helicopter. flying in the back of a helicopter over the ocean towards a small village that's been hit by a natural disaster, and the Australian Defence Force is on its way to help rebuild that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then her second experience is going to be with a senior military officer, making strategic decisions and applying resources to help rebuild that city. And then the third experience is going to test her mechanical ability, so starting a generator, swapping some batteries and tuning a radio.
Fantastic. Sounds fun for them. How do you guys use that?
Yeah, so it's actually quite a good recruitment tool for us. So we can take the results on how well she performs and let her know what job she might be suitable for. So if she's done really well, she might get the job like air traffic controller show up. Or if she's a little bit more mechanically minded, something like a vehicle mechanic or communications operator.
Oh, cool. Is it service specific?
No, absolutely not. Navy, Army, Air Force, you get to try them all.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Brendan.
Great, so thank you for your time earlier today, Brendan. We're going to hop straight back into questions, but guys, we've only got 10 more minutes, so please send through as many questions as you can. But Rhiannon has asked another great question. I'm having trouble with push-ups. Any idea what I can do? Michelle?
Yeah, so we have an app that's a free app, ADF Active app, and it's got all the techniques and then ways to build up to get to the level to achieve the push-ups that are required. It's got programs in there, it's 100% free, and it's such a good little tool.
Yeah.
Well, mate, the one thing that you've got to do is just keep on working at it.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. Like we do mentoring sessions for the fitness each month, and there's practice ones that you can come to as well. So the more exposure you get to that testing environment, the better.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can definitely help you out with that. But you just absolutely need to have that motivation to keep on top of yourself to work at it.
Great. And as Brendan said earlier, don't let fitness be a barrier for starting the application process. We have teams and apps available to support you through that. So, great. Liam has asked, are there options to work overseas in the ADF? Have any of you guys worked overseas?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
So most of my career has been spent on a ship sailing overseas.
Yep.
However, once you're in your job, I've got a friend working in Singapore for the next 2.5 years over at the embassy, and all around America, all around the world, we've got little deposits of defence that you can go and work in as well. So not only travel, but set up life in another country for 2.5 years with your family. It's amazing.
Quite competitive, those sort of roles as well.
Yes.
But yeah, there's lots of opportunities for further education in the engineering space. There's definitely options to do studies overseas, so in the UK and America.
Yeah.
All of those are definitely highly competitive, but like I said, if there are any opportunities available, you can go and find them.
Yeah, great. And that leads in really well to Mel's question. She's asked, are there ongoing training opportunities for me if I wanted to upskill myself? I'm interested in a trades role in the Army. So as you sort of mentioned, there's lots of opportunities for further study and training.
So continuous personal and professional development is throughout defence. If you find something on your own initiative that you want to go and do, you can most certainly ask to get that. But there is constant progression through promotion. There's always courses. Regularly new postings will open up those doors to having to get retrained in a specialisation at that current posting. So yeah, absolutely. It's just, you keep on learning, and that's one of the best parts of the job.
Yeah, regardless of service.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost halfway through a business degree with Griffith University. I'm doing that part-time. Because the degree lines up with my career in the Defence Force is actually paying for almost half of that, which is a fantastic opportunity that many other employers are going to give you. So.
Yeah, great. Okay, so we're running out of time, guys, but we'll get to a few more questions. Jordan has asked, once you're in your role, are you able to change to Commando or SAS while you're doing your 4 years?
That's a really good question. I can answer that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah. So pretty much anyone in the Defence Force, regardless of what service or what role you're doing, can actually apply to go into Special Forces. You need to finish your contract period for the job you've signed up for, and providing you get through all the many hurdles and meet the physical standards and Special Forces want you, it's certainly a possibility. I've known people across all different kinds of jobs in the Defence Force who have gone and tried to become Special Forces and in fact, realise that dream as well.
Yeah.
And it's possible to swap jobs in the Defence Force as well, but it's not a given. It's a case-by-case basis. So you need to finish the contract period, as I said, but it also depends on what you are and what you're trying to become.
Yeah. Great, and we actually have the Commandos here at the Expo over the next 2 days, and do keep an eye out. We do run Commando information sessions if you wanted to find out more. But I think before we run out of time, a bit earlier today we were lucky enough to have the Federation Guard do some precision drill for us, and we'd love to cut to that clip so you guys can see it. Great, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Look, we are running out of time here, but we're going to get to a few more questions. Adrian has asked, how often can you come home to see family and friends? Brendan?
I'm the travel guy, so it's a good question for me. I'll give you my story. I lived in Townsville for 3 years, away from my family who remained in Canberra, and once a year the Defence Force paid for all my flights, taxis, everything, got me to my parents' place so I could celebrate Christmas with them for 3 years, fully paid for. It was fantastic. And then there's also the opportunity, because I lived in a remote location, to get an extra flight home every 2 years. So 1 flight home per year, if you're a single person, it's pretty good. And it's completely free.
Yep, fabulous. So Charlie has asked, is there any part-time options for the Air Force?
Yeah, we do have Air Force Reserves. They are generally at the moment for specialisations, so with lawyers and chaplains and things. But yeah, once again, the part-time reserves for Army and jobs are available at the moment. That's probably what we'd most likely recommend. But again, if you want to come in and find out more, you can come and chat to us with no obligation at a U session.
Yeah, absolutely. So all 3 services have reserves, so definitely jump on the website or come in centre and have a chat about those options, because they are location specific. But great question. All right, so I think we've gotten to a lot of these. So one last one from Riley. What are the main things I should be working on at school for a pilot role in the Air Force, and what's the best way of joining?
So this is for everybody. Absolutely recommend maths and science at least grade 10 for any role at all across defence. It just helps you. So do yourself a favour and set yourself up in school by doing those subjects. For a pilot, you obviously need passes in Year 12, so English and 3 other VCE subjects, which has recently changed, so the education requirements do get reviewed regularly, which is good. But the best way to become a pilot, or see if you can become a pilot, is come on down. You need to sit that aptitude test to see if that you can unlock that job. And then we have some additional testing and screening after that as well, to determine whether or not you're suitable for a pilot aircrew role, or if it's more of a ground aviation role.
Yeah, great. Okay guys, it looks like we're out of time, but thank you 3 so much for your time this afternoon. If you are in the local area, if you are in Victoria, please don't forget to come down and visit these guys and the rest of the team on Saturday. We'll be open from 10 till 5 and Sunday 10 till 4 here at the Royal Exhibition Building in Carlton Gardens, and noting the event is free, so please do come down. Otherwise, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you for our next Facebook Live.